So I saw Dr. Rockwell and we took the bandage off and it went very, very smoothly and I didn't even cry and so I'm very, very pleased with that. And so I did talk to Dr. Rockwell about the anesthesiologist, and so I explained, that I thought it was really wrong that we took the time to go and tell them about my special situation, and we left there thinking that they totally understood and were going to take the extra precautions that we had talked about. And then we arrived and it didn't seem like anyone had even read my chart to even know that I had epidermolysis bullosa. So we found out why that is the case, and it's blowing my mind. He said that they don't do paper charts anymore. So there was no paper chart for me. That everything that I had said in it, everything in my chart is now in the computer. So in order for people to read my chart, they have to sit down at a computer and log in, and so, who does that? So I'm appalled because I cannot believe that it is not a mandatory protocol for anyone who is going to walk in that room and do anything to treat me to not read my chart. When I asked him what we could have done better, really all he could come up with was saying that maybe next time he could be more prepared and prepare other people, and that maybe we could work something out to know who is going to be in the OR that day and schedule it so that I'm talking to the same person who's going to be there in the OR, which would be fabulous.
But when we asked him, what could we do better next time, like what else should we have done, he kind of just said, maybe next time you could talk to them beforehand and so they know, but that's exactly what we did, and it still, didn't get there.
Yeah, because for some reason coming from me, it doesn't carry any weight as it would for them to have read it in a text. Because when I did tell them I had epidermolysis bullosa, they kind of just acted like, oh, thanks for that interesting information. It wasn't thought-provoking or question-provoking at all. Dr. Rockwell thought that I'd had this same anesthesiologist before, but I don't remember him, and so I said maybe he had Elizabeth before, because I know Dr. Rockwell has worked on Elizabeth. Elizabeth is another person who lives sort of in this area who goes to some of the same doctors as me, and she has EB also. But he said that Elizabeth goes to the children's hospital and that she demands a certain anesthesiologist, and I thought, good for her. I think it's kind of crazy that, it's just their standard procedure that they don't seem to have much flexibility with, that whoever your anesthesiologist is just whoever happens to be working in the OR that day, that they're just scheduled for certain times, and it's not really a possibility for me to make a special request for anybody. I guess they just don't do that. So I'm just kind of baffled because I can't be the only person that goes to the hospital that has extra particular needs. So it's very surprising. So good for you, Elizabeth. You go and have your favorite anesthesiologist and be firm.
And I thought it was funny that Dr. Rockwell said that he thought that the anesthesiologist had maybe had you in the past, and he said, but I asked him, and he didn't really remember. And I was like, well, I think he would remember if he had you. If he didn't, that's another big problem.
Yeah, I don't think he would remember because, like I said, I think I was just another patient to him. So...
What about, you were concerned about maybe complaining or feeling like, feeling like you were making a fuss, or maybe because it might get in the way of future doctors wanting to work with you, but overall, do you feel like it was better that you stuck up for yourself?
Yeah, definitely, because I'm not finished yet. I will see about writing a letter so that the hospital knows that it concerns me. I don't know if it concerns other people that apparently people aren't required now to read your chart, and if they are required, they're not enforcing it, and that is deathly scary to me because, like Katie said, you don't walk into a room with a patient who has diabetes and, without knowing exactly what that means. Well, ED is very rare, but they still need to know. It's just as important as if I was diabetic or whatever.
Or more important even.
Yeah, they need to know what they're dealing with.
Mm-hmm.